Today I'll be doing an install of an EasyStart on our 2022 Wolf Pup 17JG. We have a 3500 BTU Coleman Mach AC, and the goal is to be able to run the AC with a propane generator that we have, outputs about 2400 watts, or our 3000 watt inverter. So the EasyStart is great because AC units like this can draw over 50 amps or over 6000 watts when they're starting, even though the running watts are less than 2000 watts normally. So what the EasyStart does is it slowly ramps up the amps that the AC uses to always stay below that mark so that your generator or inverter can handle it. But yeah, so we have a 2400 watt propane generator and a 3000 watt inverter, and the goal is to be able to use either one of those when we're boondocking and still be able to turn on the AC. So let's get started. Before we do anything else, make sure you are disconnected from power, and also turn off all your breakers. And to be extra safe, also turn off your DC side as well. These are the tools I'll be using. I have my wire strippers, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, Phillips head screwdriver, drill. I'll be using some drill bits too. And then I have the EasyStart. This is the 364 version, non-Bluetooth. And this is from Hutch Mountain. So this is the Hutch Mountain install kit, which makes it very nice. Includes WAGO connectors, extra wire, and some zip ties, as well as alcohol pads and some adhesive foam. Let's go up to the roof. Okay, so to get started, we're just gonna have to remove these 4 screws and then the top pop right off. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the cover off. You can see here's our compressor right here. And we have 3 wires from the compressor going in through this putty. We're gonna need to open this panel here. So just loosen this top screw and take off these 2 bottom screws, and then this panel will pull down and out. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the panel off. You can see we have 2 different capacitors here. And before we start connecting wires or anything, it's always a good idea to short out these 2 sides of the capacitor and do it on both. Just to make sure that while you're working in there, you don't get shocked. Okay, so now pretty much all we're gonna do is push back this putty. We can put that back on later. Okay, so we're going to be adding our wires from the EasyStart. We're gonna be running them through the same conduit right here. Okay, so I fed the wires for the EasyStart through this same grommet. It's kind of a tight fit, but it should work. I just pushed through the white one first, then the orange, and then the brown and black, and then you can just pull the rest of the cable through to give you some slack. Okay, at this point we're going to be connecting the orange wire from the EasyStart. We're going to be connecting it to the other side of this red terminal. You can make sure that this is the correct one by looking at the red wire from the compressor and kind of pulling it back and forth. So you can see it runs down to this side of this capacitor. So all we have to do is take this orange lead and plug it in to this back spade connector on this side. Okay, so you can see I got that orange wire connected to the back lead of that same side of the capacitor as the red of the compressor. And it was a little bit tight, so make sure it gets seated correctly in that spade connector and make sure it sits all the way down. Okay, so now we're gonna follow the white wire from the compressor, give that a little bit of a wiggle, so you can see that it connects to the back side on the left side of the capacitor. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna disconnect that and then just cut it off, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I disconnected the white wire, I cut off this end, and then I stripped it. Now I'm gonna be putting on one of the WAGO connectors from the Hutch Mountain kit. Okay, with that on, we're now gonna be stripping back some of this brown wire, and then we'll connect it in the other side of the WAGO. Okay, so with the brown and white connected together, we're gonna take the EasyStart white wire, and that's gonna connect onto the back connector where we took off the compressor white wire. Okay, so I had a little bit of difficulty getting the white wire attached in the back where I was planning. So I ended up switching where the white and the yellow wire go. It's all on the same end of the capacitor, the same terminal, so it should be fine. But yeah, with this plastic piece and this black plastic piece on the capacitor, it just wasn't fitting in the back. So switching those two gave me a little bit more room in the front where I was able to push it in. So now both are reconnected and we're ready for the next step. Okay, for the next step, we're going to be connecting to this black wire that comes off the compressor. If we wiggle it through, we can see that it comes right here and it's connected to a purple wire. So pretty much what we're going to do is snip off this connection here and add this black EasyStart wire and connect it to both of these using the 3-WAGO connector. Okay, so you can see I took the black and purple wire that were connected to the compressor and connected in the black wire that came from the EasyStart with this 3 connector here, and now we are done with connecting the wiring. So we can just tuck these back in, and now we'll be mounting the EasyStart box. Be careful, these are sharp. Okay, so I decided I'm going to try to mount the EasyStart over here where there's a little bit more space. So stick the box down, wiggle it around, there should be just enough space to get pulled under the dock motor. So I'm thinking maybe just like this. Yeah, so you can see I installed the EasyStart box here. I wiped down the backside of the box as well as the sheet metal with alcohol wipe provided in the Hutch Mountain install kit. And then I pre-drilled the holes, put on the adhesive foam on the back, stuck it on, screwed in the holes, or screwed in the screws, and I added these 2 zip ties to kind of keep this wire from rubbing on the metal there, and this zip tie up here to just kind of keep them all contained. But yeah, there's no touching of pretty much anything. I think it looks great. So the last thing you got to do before you put the cover back on is to put this putty back on to cover the grommet and the wires, and then put your panel back on, and then we should be good to put the AC cover back on. Now that we've wrapped up things on the roof, we're good to start doing the training process for the EasyStart. So what I did, I reconnected our trailer to the grid, and if possible, it should be connected to the normal grid power and not a generator, so that the EasyStart has the best chance at seeing what a normal startup looks like, and then it can optimize from there. So after you've connected your trailer back to the grid power, you can come to our breaker box. You can switch on the main, and then we're going to switch on just the AC. We don't want anything else drawing a load on the line right now. So just main and AC, you can turn those on. And now we're going to go through, we're going to cycle on and off the AC 5 different times with a period of 3 minutes in between each one. So let's do that now. Okay, so before I turn it on, I'm just going to make sure that we are set to the coldest setting, and then I'm going to flip it all the way to high cool. Now we just wait for it to get cold. Okay, feeling the cold air now, so we can let it run for 1 second more. Awesome. Flip it off. Now we just need to wait for 3 minutes and do this again. And once we've done it a total of 5 times, we should be good to run our trailer off of our generator or inverter. Thanks for watching.